Hey there, how's it going? I'm Mike Cermak, known on the site as Tech Guy from techguy.org. Today what we're going to be doing is installing a solid-state hard drive onto this old laptop. This is a Windows Vista laptop from about 2007, which makes it about 7 or 8 years old now. And on it here, we've got a new Samsung solid-state hard drive. It's going to make it run a lot faster. This is only a 120 gig hard drive. They can be had for about $70 currently. I'm sure that price will continue to go down. So we'll go ahead and get started. What I want to show you first is the boot time. I'll probably speed this up in the video and put a little counter there to let you see just how long the boot up takes using the old drive. Alright, and there we go. The desktop is loaded, the icons are just finishing loading up down here. So basically the way this works, in order to migrate the old hard drive over to the new one, what we've got to do is run some software. We're going to plug in the new hard drive into an adapter, run some software on here. So I've got an adapter here. This is a little bit bulkier and bigger than what you really need. This is a USB to SATA adapter. It's a dock. This one's probably $20. There's cheaper ones you can get online, but we do them pretty often. So all it is a USB plug that plugs in here, and SATA on the other side. So I'm going to open up our new drive here. Looks like our box is still sealed. So I'm going to open up our new hard drive here. And here's the new drive. Just going to connect it in. Turn it on. And now you can see down here, Windows has detected the new hard drive that's connected through the USB adapter. We'll let it go ahead and hook it up. There it is. Both of them are ready to use. And I've already downloaded the software for the migration. Samsung has a free data migration software that we can use to do this. And you can get that. The web address is on the back of the box. You can also just Google for it if you like. But it's a free program that you can install on the computer that'll then help you migrate all of your data from the old hard drive over to the new one. And once we finish that, then we'll pull the hard drive out and put the new one inside. And here we go. So it shows you here it's going to take it from your old hard drive or even old solid state drive and move it over to your new Samsung hard drive. And all of the different vendors have the same ability. If you get a Crucial or one of the other Micron, one of the other popular solid states, all of them will have their own migration software you can use. So it shows here it's going to be copying my C drive over to the new drive. The old one is a Toshiba MK hard drive and the new one's a Samsung solid state. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start. It says, warning, when the cloning starts, all data on the new drive will be deleted. Yep, that's fine. And there she goes. Alright, we're back here with the computer that we're installing the solid state hard drive into. It's actually the next day. It took about 2 hours for the clone to take place, according to it. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. And then we're going to install this hard drive into the computer and remove the one that's in there now. Perhaps I should also do a count for how long it's going to take for it to shut down on the old hard drive versus on the new hard drive, huh? I don't know if you can quite see it on the screen here, but this one is the hard drive light, the one that's blinking right there. So that gives you a good indication of when you're waiting for the hard drive to do something. Anyhow, here we go. So on this computer, it's relatively easy to get into the hard drive spot. Let me see if I can get you a little closer. So there's different bays underneath the computer here. One's for memory, and one is for where the video card is, and so on. But this is the one we're interested in. And under this cover, over here, this is looks like this is probably the wireless card. Sometimes those are accessible, sometimes they're not. This one is the hard drive, and a lot of laptop computers have this kind of cage around the hard drive. So basically what you've got to do is pull a little tab here to pop that out of the computer. So there's our old Toshiba hard drive. So all I've got to do is take this hard drive out of here and put this one into the cage in the same way. So if you look at it, you want to make sure you're more or less lining up these pins that are going to go into the computer. So we want to make sure we install it this way. So go ahead and take out these screws. So we're up to, let's see, we've got 4 screws in this tray, and then we've got 4 other screws we've taken out, so it's a total of 8 screws in this particular computer, and that's pretty normal. That's about what you'd see. Sometimes 1 or 2 less, sometimes 1 or 2 more. And each of these areas, the cage and the covers, each use their own type of screws. So they're not universal. You want to make sure you try and keep them separate. I'm keeping different piles over here so that I can keep track of which ones go where. You want to make sure you put the screws back in the same, whoop, almost dropped that one. Make sure you put them back in the same place. So I've got all the screws out of my tray here. Again, I'm just going to double check, make sure I'm installing the hard drive facing the right direction. You can see the long and the short connections there. I don't want to screw the hard drive in like this and then try and shove it in there and break these little plastic pieces or something. So before you completely pull the old hard drive out, you want to make sure you match it up and put the new one in, and we can move it around a little bit so the holes line up. And one thing you may notice when you're doing this is the solid state hard drives are much lighter in weight than what the old magnetic hard drives are. There's a lot less to them, a lot less to go wrong, no moving parts, they don't generate as much heat, they are of course much faster, which is probably the primary reason most people will use them. They're great for laptops because they don't use as much power as what magnetic hard drives use. You don't have to spin that, wish I had a better screwdriver with me here. You don't have to spin that drive, you know, that magnetic media around. Basically, inside of the normal hard drives, it's almost like a record player. You've got a circle in there of the hard drive media, and that spins around. Depending on your computer, that may spin at 5400 or 7200 RPM, sometimes a little slower for laptops. I'm not sure that this one tells me, but that's quite fast if you think about it. 5400 RPM, you know, when you think about the old records and how fast they went, it's quite fast, so it uses a good bit of power to spin that. And then the other problem you have with spinning the old hard drives is that here, let me see if I can get this stupid screw lined up. There. Oh man. There we go. So the other problem with the old hard drives, the magnetic ones, is that whenever that media is spinning in there, there's a head across it, just like on a record player, that reads it as it goes around. And if you drop your hard drive, that head can smack into the media and it'll actually damage the hard drive. There's some newer laptops, more expensive laptops, that try to detect that. They have a drop sensor in them to try and detect whenever the laptop is dropping and try and turn off that spinning disc before it hits the ground. And try to lock or park the head so it doesn't smack into it. So nice thing with a solid state hard drive is you don't have any moving parts, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's faster, it's quieter, it's lighter, it doesn't use as much electricity, which means the battery will last longer, and it's just a great upgrade. It's something, you know, even on an older laptop like this. Again, this is a 2007 Windows Vista laptop, and it's, you know, it's not going to make it like new again, but it's going to make a huge difference. It used to be back in the day we used to tell people to upgrade their RAM. You know, it's cheap to add a gig or 2 gigs of RAM, and it would make a big difference on the computer speed. Nowadays, most computers have a fair amount of RAM. This one only has 3 gigs, but still, you know, RAM's not our biggest bottleneck. A lot of times the hard drive is the biggest bottleneck. So we've got our new hard drive installed. My old one's laying over here. Let me find my power for the laptop here and get that plugged in. Alright, so there we go. Got everything put back together. I'm going to hit the power button and we'll start our timer. See how long it takes for it to boot up here using the new hard drive as opposed to the old one. And that's it, we're up and running. Not bad at all. So our last point of business here is to try shutting down. See how long the shutdown takes on this new one. So hit shutdown, we'll start our counter, see how long it takes to shut down compared to that old drive. And that's it. A pretty big difference. And every function in the computer will run a lot faster with the faster hard drive in it. So I think you'll see a nice big difference. I think you'll enjoy it. It's definitely something worth looking into, replacing your hard drive. And then you don't want to just throw out your old hard drive. It's got data on it. It's a good idea to use your USB adapter again. There's programs you can download for free that'll wipe that data. Maybe don't do it the same day. Maybe wait a couple days, make sure you have everything transferred. And then recycle these. Don't just pitch them. If you have any questions on how to upgrade your laptop to solid state or any other questions about using your computer, you can go to techguy.org, www.techguy.org. It's a free website. It's a community of people who are happy to help you solve computer problems. It's completely free to use. It's run by volunteers and paid for by sponsors. So check it out, www.techguy.org.